Hi, 143 fam. I'm Antonia. Thank you for being here. For those of you who connect with me here monthly, you know that I love to give away free readings. For the month of June, I'm going to be giving away 2 free readings via YouTube. I'm also going to be giving away 1 free reading via Insta. Instagram is super new for me. As I grow my account a little bit more, I'm going to try to find unique ways to reach out to you guys in between my first of the month and my mid-month horoscopes here, really utilizing Insta to be able to do that. If you guys have some ideas, let me know, leave me a comment, but connect with me there. For the time being, if you'd like to be considered for a free reading as well, on YouTube to be considered, leave me a comment below. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you let me know that you have subscribed. Same thing with Insta. Connect with me there. We'll follow each other. Shoot me a comment so I know that we really are connected. I will alert winners in June on June 30th. So if you hear from me prior to June 30th, I haven't chosen winners yet. Some of you guys jumped the gun with that, okay? So give me until the end of the month because I really want to give everybody here a fair shot. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I am so grateful for your support. I love being able to build this platform and this community with you all. But with all that said, let's jump in to your June horoscope, see what's in store, general overview, and in love. Hi Libra, this reading is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 2019. I'm going to start with your general overview, then we'll take a look at love. I will have timestamps down below. Libra, general overview, June 2019. Libra, general overview, 2019. Okay, Libra, I've got your energy here. I feel like somebody's trying to rush you. You may be trying to rush through something as well. Some of that rush is warranted because if you take too much time, it's like a window is going to close. You're going to miss out on an opportunity. It might be an opportunity to spend time with somebody, an opportunity to launch a project with a particular group of people. It could be a deadline, okay? So yeah, some of this rush is warranted, but you don't want to be rushed from beginning to end. So there's got to be a balance. You got to strike a balance. Don't procrastinate. Don't put everything off till the night before a deadline or something, because there's a creative process that you're going to need to exercise some patience, some legit openness with. There needs to be peace, and you need to be a clear conduit to receive certain messages, especially for those of you working on something creative, putting a project together, especially for Libras, those of you who are writing. This could be work, this could be school, even for those of you trying to finish a paper. You need to be able to sit in that energy. You need to let things flow a little bit more effortlessly. So how do you sit in that place of that effortless, open, receptive state, in that open, receptive state? How do you do that while someone's rushing you? Honestly, you sort of can't do that. So recognize your deadlines, recognize where the rush is coming from, but then you also have to find a way to balance and like step away from that, or it's going to interfere with what you're learning, with what you're working on. The end result won't be as good if you feel rushed, okay? So how does that apply to Libra? General overview for Libra June 2019. Okay. We have perfect timing, okay? Really what this speaks to, this rush energy, universe is really guiding you to get something done in divine timing. That's what it is. People are lined up. Opportunities are lined up in your favor. Don't miss that window of time. It's all in divine timing, but divine timing requires you to also be in divine flow. So don't procrastinate if you feel resistance in terms of working on something or getting something done. Move past that real quick in June, okay, so that there doesn't have to be a rush. You really want to be in divine flow here. But this is all about divine timing, okay? And trying to avoiding that rush so you channel what you need to channel. Family sits at the center of this. For some of you, you just have family members rushing you. I'm getting a mom, dad, like they're waiting. Your kids are excited. They're sitting in the car and you're not ready to go yet. Libra, as a Gemini, we vibe very well, okay? I'm late to just about everything, unless it's an important meeting. But trust, if I get invited to a party or something, I am never going to be one of the first people to show up. It's not my thing. There are people around me that is truly aggravating, and it like They just have to exercise the craziest amount of patience. It's never disrespectful. I'm never someone who shows up like a disrespectful amount of time late, but someone's feeling that, like someone's feeling aggravated. For some of you, it's not so much a project. It's like your kids are trying to rush, like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? When are we leaving? What day is it? What time? And you're just like, oh my God, I am so stressed out. You guys just need to chill. You need to let me just like be in divine flow. Let me get ready. Let me pack. We leave when we leave. Try to balance all of that out. Recognize the other people that are involved. If you're feeling a little stressed about being rushed, recognize that you may be a little too behind the ball and you don't want anyone to be at their wits' end with you this month. But I really feel like it's more superficial. I feel like for so many of you, it's superficial. It's like kids are rushing you, parents, friends, significant other. This is what this is speaking to, giving and receiving. Whatever feels rushed, this could also pertain to love, I'm getting as well. You can't rush commitment, just like you don't want to rush creative projects and important projects, okay, and big commitments in business. It's got to be that equal give and take. Recognize where you may be lacking in terms of what you're providing a business partner or significant other. It feels like, again, you're working at your pace, but not theirs. Maybe you can't work at theirs. Maybe you guys don't have that kind of chemistry, so you need to communicate about that, but also recognize where other people are not being respectful of your process. Balance things out this month. Some people are warranted. Some of that rush, you can honestly, if you step back, you can say, okay, I really was taking my sweet ass time. Like, let me just get on this now. But for some of you, you need to be like, whoa, I need healthier boundaries. This is my process. If this is going to get done, you got to let me do my thing. I will meet this deadline, but you cannot be on me. You cannot ride me to get this done. Do not control me. If you control me, I'm just going to step away from this. You're going to block my flow. You may have to have some of those conversations. That could be family telling your kids, look, if you ask me one more time when we're going to get there, I'm going to pull this car over and we're just going to turn around and go back home. You know, exercising those healthy boundaries, because some of this might be a little frustrating for you. But in terms of those of you in work relationships, getting a project done, be very clear about your process, what you need from partners, and also be willing to adapt so that you can get there, so their needs are fulfilled too in the process, okay? Let me get this card for you, Libra. Okay, Libra, speaking to this divine timing, okay, especially for those of you launching businesses, launching projects, getting schoolwork done, something that you're writing. For some of you, I feel like you could be authors, Libra. Are you writing a book? Are you working on some sort of documentary? It feels like that's coming full circle. It's really beautiful because along with this divine timing, I just keep getting creative flow. So you may work in a creative field. It's being clarified by go for it. The main message that I'm channeling with this, Spirit is asking you to work. Acknowledge your process. Stay in that divine flow. Get that work done now, though, and stay in alignment with divine timing, okay, so that you don't miss that window. I do see for some of you, if you procrastinate, you're going to miss an important window of time, and you're not going to be able to step into that opportunity. So do recognize that. Somebody you may be working with may know that, and they may be getting nervous, like, okay, we haven't gotten as much work done as maybe we should have by this point in our process. So how can we speed this along a little bit? Be open to entertaining those kinds of conversations. Family, it's being clarified by blessing in disguise. Okay, some things that don't work out at this time aren't meant to, and then you're going to be stepping into divine flow for a different project in regards to a different project, and that's what will be divine for you, okay? But I am also feeling like some of the situations, especially pertaining to children, where your kids are being a little impatient, recognize how blessed you are to have the time to spend with your kids, to go away, to go to that park, to go to that event that everybody's looking forward to. There's a blessing here. Also, some delays. I'm getting some delays. Not delays because of procrastination, but delays that are truly out of your hand. They're a blessing in disguise. So, for example, if you're driving somewhere, you're heading somewhere on vacation, or to an amusement park or something, and you get stuck in some traffic, and that's where the kids are being kind of impatient, or you're starting to get stressed out, like, I left with enough time, I really did. I'm going to be late now, and it wasn't my fault this time. Like, I should be there on time, Universe was protecting you from something you may not even recognize you needed to be protected from, okay? You may have avoided an accident or crossing paths with someone that would have brought you some sort of negative energy that day. So some of this rush is warranted, some of it is not. Some of the delays, the ones that are out of your hands, are true blessings in disguise for you this month, Libra, okay? I was just channeling something about Virgo here too. You may be dealing with a Virgo who, I mean, this could be a cusp for you too. You could be on the cusp. But I feel like maybe a Virgo is like, I've been super patient with you. We need to get this. I can't miss this window. I will not. Recognize how you may be contributing to their anxiety too. Even if you're truly confident that you're on point, you know you'll get your work done. Communicate with them a little more openly, because I see somebody around you with some anxiety, or possibly somebody causing you some anxiety this month. Okay, giving and receiving this balance. This also has to do with receiving messages. Take some time away from work too. Time away from family. Time away from anyone rushing you into any sort of commitment. Spend time listening to your angels. Not even so much speaking to universe, but let universe speak to you this month. There are messages that have been missed. There are messages that may wind up being missed if you don't make space for that this month. That message is going to help move this project, this career path. It's going to move things along. Also, you're going to get some clarity as to delays, situations that didn't work out quite the way you wanted them to. Spirit's going to tell you why. Okay, you're going to see signs, but some of this and some of these messages, they're going to require you to be in meditative state here. See only love. Things that don't work out, that are truly out of your control. Okay, you didn't miss a deadline. There was no procrastination here, Libra. Something just didn't work out. See the positive in that. Recognize that it's a blessing in disguise. You may have more time with your family now because a project didn't work out, an opportunity fell through. Do know that something bigger and better is coming in. It may not come in immediately, but you're going to get there very soon. Bottom of the deck, have confidence. Wow. I feel like for some of you, a job may have fallen through, and it has allowed you the time and the space to reconnect with your family, but then get into this kind of divine flow, back in alignment with soul purpose, having the confidence and the self-esteem to see this full circle. It's going to bring you a whole lot of money, okay? For some of you, the relationship that didn't work out will bring you much greater love, something that's much more fulfilling. The job, the business, the project that didn't work out, it brings you so much more success now. This clean slate. I'm getting freedom for you, Libra. You may have been rushing or pushing for something to go through, and universe, there's just resistance there from universe because it isn't of your highest good. You're being protected. Make sure you're not rushing things along either. I know that that's not really true to Libra personality. Those aren't really your characteristics. But if you get passionate about something, Libra, you could very well try to force an outcome here. Don't do that. Recognize if things don't work out, it's meant to be that way. Send love to all situations, all people, and just keep it moving. Something bigger is coming to fruition here, okay? Trust in your process. Trust in universe's process in bringing and manifesting success in love and abundance full circle in your life this month. And try to see the other person's point of view, even if they're riding you a little bit. As a Gemini, I understand the process and I understand a little bit of delay, but for some signs, especially earth signs, that really, it's not even like irritating. It's not an ego thing. It really causes some legit anxiety. A Taurus showing up late to something, they feel like they have failed, okay? So if you are connecting with the sign, working with, or dating an earth sign, recognize that even though your process works for you and you know you'll get things completed and done within that window of time, your partner may need you to work that a little differently. Try to strike a healthy balance. I really think that's the main message, is striking a healthy balance between your needs and somebody else's in the month of June. You'll have a better month. You'll have more success if you do that. Anything that falls to the wayside, including people who are too impatient to work with you, okay? You'll be rewarded with something bigger and better. How does this apply to love? Libra in love. June 2019. Libra in love. Ooh, June 2019. It's like so many cards want to speak to me right now. I'm like, no, we have to do this in an orderly fashion. Libra in love. Libra, I'm feeling a whole lot of passion. You know, you may not be investing, you may not be prioritizing a work situation or a project getting done because you may be very wrapped up in love. Even if you've been with somebody for a long time, you guys feel like you're moving forward with a more passionate month. Feels like a lot of physical chemistry, okay? You feel mentally stimulated, but there's also like this physical attraction and connection to somebody, a lot of passion. You may also be feeling a lot of passion for the project you're working on. Still, you know, in your flow, no one gets to rush you through it. But yeah, this is somebody new. If you're single, somebody new is showing up. You have a whole lot of physical chemistry with this person. You want to make sure. Well, it really depends on what you want. If you just want that fling, you don't want anything too serious, that's going to come through real easy for you in the month of June, Libra. But if you do want something with more depth, make sure when you experience that physical chemistry, before you take steps forward to entertain the physical intimacy there, make sure there's emotional depth. Make sure there is that mental, that emotional chemistry. Make sure your conversations are of depth and they're like really doing it for you, because for some of you, you'll just be attracting people where there's physical chemistry and nothing else. But I am feeling somebody new showing up who's gonna check off all the boxes for you, but it may not be the first person who arrives in June. Who can you sit with and have a good time with? You know, you have that chemistry for sure and this passion, but it's more. There's more than that. Unrequited love. This is why you want to focus on passion. You've had experiences with exes, with people in the past. They may not have even been serious situations, but you had some sort of physical chemistry, but it fizzled very quickly. It feels like love was maybe one-sided, but I'm really feeling passion. I'm feeling something about physical chemistry very strongly. You may have wound up dating a friend, but you realized over time, maybe it should have stayed a friendship. You don't have that kind of physical attraction to your partner or vice versa. I do feel like this energy comes from you, Libra. They may have been madly in love with you. They may have been very attracted to you, but like, over time, you just weren't feeling it anymore, and you had to separate from someone you love, and it may have been very painful for you and for them, but you knew that you just didn't want to settle. You want that passion. Now, you're very focused on manifesting passionate relationships because you know how unfulfilling it is to not have that in committed relationships and in ways that you've experienced in the past, okay? And you may be coming out of a relationship where things were not mutual. Chemistry, love, it wasn't mutual, at least not toward the end. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. You are looking for new people, calling in new people. You're very conscious of the chemistry, the physical attraction. This has to be there. For some of you, you may have even had a good relationship. It was stable enough, but the chemistry was lacking, okay? There was definitely a disconnect. I am feeling this too. For those of you in committed relationships, you have very deep commitments, and you know that it's not truly unrequited love. You do mutually still love each other, but there's a disconnect physically, okay? It feels like if there's a disconnect physically, there's also a disconnect emotionally. You guys could be working a little too hard, traveling a little too much separately. June calls you back. June brings you back to this depth and this chemistry and this physical attraction for one another. Keep things flirtatious. Be very conscious of that. Have those conversations with your partner. Look, I feel like our chemistry's been a little off lately. Rather than settle for something like below average, a below average interaction here with your partner, speak up to them and be like, maybe that worked for me in the past, but that doesn't do it for me anymore. So this is what I need. Vocalize that. Communicate, because you can get resolve here. For some of you, you're meant to have these conversations so you move forward with more connection. But ultimately, whether you're single and you're entertaining a new relationship, if you're in a committed relationship, if there's been a disconnect in chemistry, a disconnect emotionally, you resolve that this month if you want to. Okay, it's a real option, but you do have to be open and honest with your partner if that's what you want. And you have to be conscious if you're single. Who are you calling in? If it's just physical, I don't see you being fulfilled long term, but you may also not want a serious commitment right now. So if that's okay with you, then that's fine. But if you are looking for something more long term, really test that depth early on, okay? This depth, meeting somebody new. This is being clarified by a soul connection. This is just another affirmation to make sure it's not all physical. Make sure you have that soul connection, that spiritual connection. You guys are really deep, truly connected on a very deep level, okay? Test that. Test those waters, though. Don't just expect it. I am feeling this, too. I feel like sometimes you may go out, especially in the beginning stages of a relationship, you're just dating. You may go out, and after a few drinks, you're having a lot of fun. But then you meet up again down the road, and it's a different environment. Maybe you grab a cup of coffee, or you grab lunch, or you meet at each other's home or one another's home, and you're just kind of sitting there like, we have nothing to talk about. How did we have so much chemistry the other night? How did we have so much fun? You may be a little shocked that when you take, the alcohol or the stimulation of whatever that environment was at the time, if you take that out of the picture, you're like, there's not a whole lot here. Just be conscious. That's going to show up for some of you. And it won't be fulfilling if you carry that relationship on for too long. But again, not an issue if you're only looking for something short-term right now. Unrequited love, center of the reading message, okay, clarified by playfulness. There was a disconnect. For some of you, there still is a disconnect. Reconnect. Play, have fun, be flirtatious, entertain those conversations of depth, communicate with your partner that you need to reconnect physically, that you need more than what's being presented right now. Something feels off. It feels like they will hear that message and they will react very positively to it. They'll meet you there. It feels like if you're in a committed relationship, if there's an issue, your partner wants to resolve it, especially if that issue revolves around physical chemistry or emotional depth right now. You need to have more fun. I do see for those of you calling in new partners, it looks like you're calling in an air sign or someone who has those air sign type qualities, okay? That would vibe really well with your sign. With Libra also being an air sign too. I mean, playfulness, again, center of your reading. Gemini always comes through with this card. Gemini is a great match for you. But it doesn't just have to be a Gemini. It's somebody who has those really fun, maybe a little less rigid, especially if you've been in a relationship with an earth sign in the past and it didn't really work for you long term. You may be calling in somebody completely different. Someone who doesn't mind showing up a few minutes late to something with you. Someone who's not going to rush you. They kind of like understand your flow. And it's like, it is what it is. Like we'll be responsible and respectful. But like outside of those boundaries, like we show up when we show up, it'll get done. That's going to be a partner that may be more fulfilling for you long term. We have chemistry here, clarified by attraction. If you're single, I'm telling you, you're calling in at least one partner that you have some pretty serious chemistry with. Again, you get to decide whether or not that's enough for you, but it does feel like you'll be attracting more than one person, and you get that chemistry back and that attraction back for one another as long as you work at it this month in committed relationships. If that's been an issue for you, it gets resolved. Heart-to-heart conversations ultimately crown this reading, Libra. You just need to communicate. Make sure your needs are being met. Make sure you're meeting your partner's needs. Have that communication. Be honest. Be open with one another. Because if you don't, and some of this gets buried, I see this manifesting and getting a little out of control. This could actually cause a separation between the two of you. However, we have a lot of cards around conversation and depth here. Spiritual depth. Okay, we have playfulness. We have chemistry. Communicate what it is that you want. Reconnect. Get back to the core of this playful, fun, beautiful, attractive energy that brought you guys together to begin with. Nurture that this month. There really is healing for you there if you feel like you need and you want that. Bottom of the deck, let go of control issues. I really feel like this message is coming through major in the first spread. Someone might be rushing you. You also might be forcing something along too. Or you may be resisting someone forcing you. Either way, there could be some control issues in that. You may be reactive to someone else feeling a little controlling, and then you may step back a little too much. Try not to be too rebellious. Just communicate with somebody if they're overstepping boundaries. I think that's really key. Communication in love and in business. Make sure your needs are met again. Make sure your partners are too. This has to go. You know, that rush, someone rushing you, someone feeling rushed to get something done, or rushed into commitment. That's going to mess up chemistry too. If you're in the beginning stages of a relationship and you feel like a partner is rushing commitment and you just kind of want to have fun, you just met, you're not really ready, have those conversations. Look, I'm super interested in you. I love our chemistry. I love our time together. I'm just not ready to commit quite yet. Give me time to do that. Give me time. I do feel like as long as you're honest with partners and you're openly communicating, everything goes really well, okay? Beyond those maybe initial problems or aggravations that show up for you, Libra, it'd be a beautiful month, okay? Just make sure you're having fun here. Make sure you're communicating and you guys are good. Libra, thank you so much for connecting with me here. I will be back June 15th for your full month of, oh, not your full month of June, your mid-month June love reading. If you feel like in the meantime you need some individual clarity, reach out. We can set up a private reading. If you feel like you need some energy work, it's what I specialize in. Reach out to me for that. Again, in the meantime, sending you so much love, light, gratitude, Libra. I'll see you guys back here soon. Ciao.